Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to my channel. So a lot of you guys have been, well, some of you guys have been asking me to make a recipe for hyaluronic acid, or how to make a serum basically. So today I'm just gonna teach you guys how to make a simple hyaluronic acid serum. It is super easy to make, and all you really need is water, hyaluronic acid, and a preservative. But you can make it more complex and add a whole bunch of other ingredients to it. You don't have to use water. You can use any other liquid like cucumber hydrosol, aloe vera, whatever you want in your serum. But we're just going to be using water. So first of all, you want to write down your recipe. So we want water in here. We want hyaluronic acid. Don't mind my handwriting, is pretty ugly. Hyaluronic acid, liquid germall plus, which is the preservative, or you can use lucidal SF or whatever preservative you want to use, but it just has to be water soluble. But we're going to use liquid germall plus, and we're going to use glycerin. Wait, what the hell am I writing? Glycerin. Okay, so now we want to write the percentage. We want to write the formula in percentage so that we can, that way it's easier for you to convert it into ounces and grams. So we're going to use 2% glycerin. And I'm getting these percentages from the usage rate you should use certain products at. Glycerin, I'm not really sure. I just want 2% in my formula. Liquid germall plus, the usage rate is 0.5% to, I think it's 0.1% to 0.5%. We're going to use the highest usage rate because we want to make sure our stuff does not go bad. So we're going to use 0.5%. Hyaluronic acid, the usage rate, I believe, is, we're going to use the hyaluronic acid at 1%. 1% hyaluronic acid. And you want your formula to add up to 100. So you want to add all these three and then subtract it from 100. And then that's how much water you would use, or how much liquid you would use. 0.5. 96.5% water. So that is your formulation. And then you want to convert this to grams. But first, you want to make sure, you want to see how much of the serum you're trying to make. So I'm going to make 1 ounce bottle of this serum. So 1 ounce, you ask Siri, what's 1 ounce to grams? So it's 28.35 grams, but we're just going to make 30 grams. So you're going to go to Google and you're going to do this. You're going to go 96.5% of 30 grams. And it's going to give you the answer. And that's how many grams of water you're going to use in your formula. So you're going to do it for this, this, and this. Basically, you're going to go to Google. You're going to go 96.5. What am I doing? Percent of 30 grams. And you're going to put, so this is how much water you're going to use. 28.95 grams of water. And you just continue doing it till you get all your grams, and then you start formulating. Once you have everything calculated, you're going to go ahead and start formulating. So this is the digital scale that I use. It only weighs up to 16 ounces. You guys have seen this before. So you want a scale that doesn't weigh too much, so it can measure out everything accurately. So this is what my scale looks like. It's really dirty. I use it a lot, and you can't really wash it because I'll probably ruin it if I washed it. So that's just how it's looking. So you want to turn that on. Go to grams, because we're going to be working in grams because they're more accurate. You need a 100 milliliter glass beaker. You're going to need, you want to push tare. And then you're going to get your water and put in 28.95 grams of water. So, then you want to add in your glycerin and first push tare. Glycerin, we have 0.6 grams of glycerin. I put too much, but that's fine. Tare. And then we're gonna add our preservative, which is Liquid Germall Plus. And that is 0.5 grams. This stuff is really thick and it comes out really fast. You want to push tare again, and then we're going to add our hyaluronic acid. You can get this on Amazon, the Lotion Crafter, Etsy. And we're going to put in, how much? Hyaluronic, 0.3 grams of hyaluronic acid. This one. Ooh, that was too much, but that's fine. Make sure you put the right amount. Actually, I could take some out. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so you don't want to mix this because you can't really mix it. You're just gonna get this scale out the way. You're gonna want to cover this with foil and leave it for a day, a whole day, or 12 hours so that it can hydrate. I didn't mix. You're supposed to, before you put the hyaluronic acid, you're supposed to mix everything in. I totally forgot to do that. I was just putting stuff in. So normally I wouldn't mix the hyaluronic acid because you can't really mix it. It doesn't mix. You have to let it hydrate. And it's already starting to hydrate. So you're just going to cover this with some foil and then let it sit. I normally leave this inside, but I'm going to take it out. Try to get everything from the sides. Cover this with foil. And just put it in a safe place for a day or to 12 hours. And come back and it should be hydrated. So it has been sitting for less than a day. Probably like an hour. Because I made so little, I think it hydrated a lot quicker. But as you can see, it's clear. You kind of just want to mix it in. It's not fully hydrated. Like, it didn't fully combine. You kind of just have to mix it a little bit. And if you see that it's not mixing, you can get your immersion blender or a frother or whisk and blend it all together and then let it sit and chill the bubbles come out. So I fully mixed it. It's completely hydrated, and then I'm just gonna add it to this bottle right here. So here is the final serum. The bubbles will come out when you leave it to sit. So that is 1 ounce of hyaluronic acid. I still have some left in here that I couldn't get out, and I'll just show you guys what that looks like on the skin. Feels so good. Oh my gosh. So that is how you make hyaluronic acid serum.